Hey, what up, anime fans? I am officially back. I do plan to catch up with some fans when I can. But tonight, I decided to get what the fuck, just do these reviews. So I'm doing. This is technically related to the the first fairy tale movie, Phoenix Priestess. But it's also not the movie. See, I actually did some research looking this up. But the movie released so basically the movie released around the same day episode 144 aired, which was during the filler arc, the Key of the Sky arc, which I technically already covered on this channel, so be sure to check that out. Yeah, this is a prologue movie, only 12 minutes long, set. I don't know what it's set in. It doesn't give us much. This prologue doesn't give much detail. Doesn't go much about these stuff. We only know it's just the two characters. That's all we know is just the names of two characters. That's all. Which makes sense. I'm not complaining because this is a prologue. They don't want to give much. They don't want to give any information away, since this information was supposed to be revealed during the movie. Now, years ago, I did try to watch this movie. I had this DVD. I had this DVD for like years now. At this point, but I was not caught up with fairy tale at the time. I made a mistake of watching it right after Collection 4, which finished up the Edulus arc. So yeah, I watched this right after the Edulus arc. Also, when the next arc started, the Temple Island arc. And those are my events, I figured sort of place it when it takes place. I'm going to try and guess anyway, but I'll get to that. So yeah, technically this prologue is adapted from a 30-page manga chapter. So which is pretty rare for a manga author to have do a special tie-in chapter for a movie based on their series. Like, think of one of the series like One Piece. Some of its episodes or arcs, some episodes tie into the movie that was recent. They even did some post time skip. They started doing episodes that tied into the movie. Started doing arcs tied into the movie. The first one was Z's Ambition. Z's Ambition arc, which is a prologue to One Piece film Z. Or Z, I'm British, okay, so I pronounce it Z. So, which I will cover once I actually review that filler arc. See, that arc is placed right after the Fishman Island arc. So basically, in canon, it's right before the Dressrosa arc. No. In canon, it's right before Punk Hazard. Since they meet Law and Punk Hazard, and this is when they met him, so he's not in the movie. Then again, in the other movies, he wasn't in there either. Which is odd. And he also kind of did the same with the Chopper movie, which I do want to cover, but I'm going to cover that after, as I was released during the Alabaster arc. But since there's a movie, but I will review that after the second movie. So, yeah. The second time came right after the Dressrosa arc. Now you're thinking, wait, they had a movie release, not too long after the story arcs? Well, think about this, right? The first movie released right before the first time skip movie released right before the Punk Hazard arc. And that's over 40 episodes long. Then came the Dressrosa arc, which is over 100 episodes long. It's over 100 episodes long. And then we got a filler arc to tie into the movie. Next time the movie goes. Since it focuses on that. Now, as far as my knowledge, the Stronghold movie, Stampede movie, did not receive a tie-in arc. Not even after Whole Cake Island. So, just Wano is the only arc in the entirety of the One Piece anime to have 2 movies released during its run. And it's gonna take me ages to get to those arcs. I haven't watched the dub in a bit yet, but as you know, I recently finished up the Dressrosa arc. And I'm gonna be on to the Zoe arc. And here's the only explanation behind the anthropomorphic animals on there. Are they devil fruit users or something? I don't know. Sorry. I know when I'm talking. But yeah, like I said, this Prologue, the movie released on August 18th, 2012 in Japan. Same day, August 12th. I'm fucking stupid. No, this released on August 12th, not 18th. Or was it 18th? Damn it! I gotta get my... Sorry, if I'm wrong, I'll probably check after this video. Hopefully. I mean, let's get into the story. Again, not much is detailed in this, because, again, it's a prologue. We don't need much detail right now. It's supposed to get... It's more supposed to get, like, a setup for specific reasons. Help us get into the story. Or set some specific things up. I can only see a bit of the movie, like the openings, like the start of the movie specifically. Only up to the Gagio scene later on. And the timeline of this movie is kind of confusing. People say it was released after the Grand Magic Games arc. It said after the Grand Magic Games arc. But that's not possible. So you have a feel like going. Like, that arc was still ongoing at the time. But some details in it, some details in the movie that shouldn't have been known at the time. Since the manga was halfway through that arc by the time the anime caught up. So that's the anime taking a year hiatus. Which I'll go more about when I actually review that. So, yeah, let's get into this prelude. I wouldn't say that. Anyway, so we open in a desert kingdom or something. Introduced to the actors of the story. A young woman who's is named a bit later, but for now she's nameless. You're looking for some cotton. But the store owner doesn't have any. So she's about some dragon feathers or something, I don't know. She somehow knew the guy's name. Anyway, she heads to her home on the outskirts of town. Why? We don't know again. Like I said, this is a prologue. We don't know much information. Anyway. She ended up making a stuffed duck. And, well, it's pretty hard. She ends up making a wish. Well, the Phoenix Stone, as she calls it, the stone she wears around her neck, ended up bringing the bird to life. And we know the woman's name was Eclair. Name is Eclair. And just know some things that give us a hint and no mystery for us to end of the movie with. But when I did it so earlier, she actually pricked her finger. Blood comes out. No, that's important. Not in the story, but for the anime itself. See, through all 160, 70. Oh. I forget. For 175 episodes of the anime, it was toned down from the manga due to the anime having more of a PG-13 rating. I don't know why. Someone even pictures or something, or Kodansha thought to make target towards a younger audience for Fairy Tail. So probably not. Most likely because it doesn't try to compete with the heavy hitters like One Piece and stuff, and Naruto and stuff. Which, by the way, was Shippuden was airing around that time as it ran for 500 episodes. It ran for like 500 or so. Anyway, Claire's definitely surprised by the welcome to life. She's honestly denying it. There's not really any comedy in this. Like, it's not any gags or anything. Or visual comedy. The expressions and stuff. Also, you notice the movie's animation looks strangely different from the show. Again, this is something that would look like... Most likely, they reused this style change for the 2014. Yeah, this is weird. Alright. Literally all Fairy Tail content was released by Funimation's distribution and Manga UK. Before that was bought, because that was actually bought by Funimation and now shut down. So we got a new UK distribution company for it. A1 or the anime, which distributed the second to last movie. I don't know if the 100-Year Quest will get its own movie. Doubt it. Hey, it'd be cool. Because I want to see a Fairy Tail movie in cinemas someday. Anyway, I want to be caught up in the story of One Piece. So, I just want to be caught up in the story. So that's why I want to watch all the way up to Egghead before the next movie comes out. So pretty soon the Elbaf arc will start being adapted. So, anyway, after that, I don't know what's her name, but Claire's in denial. Next day, Claire's on her way to work with a bird on her. She has obviously disdain for the bird. Let's see what's wrong. I'm gonna learn that Claire hates magic. I've seen the map, but that's kind of weird. If a Phoenix Stone is magic, so why is she carrying around? Again, a lot of good questions since then. So, the bird does feel a little hurt about this. Anyway, Claire seems has a type of fortune telling job, as she tells the woman how her husband died and stuff, and to avoid dry alcohol and drinks and stuff in the future, alcoholic drinks. But she's not a fortune teller, as she claims. She can only read people's past. She just makes whatever shit comes up from the future. Anyway, she gets another customer, a young boy, who asks if she can win his dead weasel back to life. But she's not a mage, and there's no magic in the world that can bring the dead back to life. It's interesting. So the movie's called Phoenix Priestess, and a phoenix symbolizes rebirth. So maybe put a pin in that for now. Maybe. I know it's a temporary pin if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty confident since they got Phoenix on the fucking cover. It's the name of the movie. Anyway, the boy on the CPU okay. Eclair tells him that people live their best lives, so they don't have any regrets when they eventually pass. She's a bit harsh with me, but he is young. I understand this. He's emotional too. All the way back. Glass still has not much interest in the bird, but she realizes the Phoenix Stone is missing. Obstructing the village. The bird tells her not to go back. It's too dangerous at night since wolves come out. But she says it's important to her. She goes to the village on her own that night. But not even she knows why. She doesn't even know why it's important to her. That's interesting. She doesn't be interested when some tripped. Sally over her. The next day, she wakes up in her bed with a stone around her neck. Because she finds the bird injured. As he's the one who rescued her and got the stone back. He believes that maybe the stone brought him to life because it sensed her loneliness. And well, that ended up changing her opinion on him. As a friendship's formed. As she calls him Moman. And she decides to go on a journey. It still means something. She's going to figure out what this means. A quick passing through his town with a cameo from 3 familiar faces. Natsu, Lucy, and Happy. And interesting enough, if you look at the cover of the movie, they're in their post-time skip designs, right? Since it's released after the time skip. But if you look at the scene here, it seems to take place 7 years prior to the Temple Island arc. I think this is set early on during the anime's run, very early on. Like maybe after Lucy joined, but before the Daybreak arc. I think it's set right after the Macau arc, before the Daybreak arc. No. It has to be right before the Item World arc, since it's just the 3 of them, or it could just be the 3 of them on the mission on their own. So it could be set any point before Temple Island. I don't know. But it's obviously set before the Temple Island arc for the designs. Yes, the characters will go slightly change their looks again later. But these are the common time skip designs. Initial time skip, that is. Phase 1. I call it time skip phase 1. Since we get a new time skip around the final around later down the line. I do not know when that's going to be though. But yeah, I look forward to that. as they travel to Magnolia or something. Ending the short epilogue there. And not epilogue, prologue. Nice. So, I'm sure they'll give us a reason why it took her 7 years. If this is set 7 years, and then just wear the old outfits for a reason. I don't know. I'm just guessing based on the outfits. No. The reason why this movie was able to show a bit of blood is because different restrictions. It has different restrictions compared to a TV series. Think of stuff like. You'll think of other anime movies that have that's for kids. Like think of Doki Doki Pregame movie. I've not seen it, but I do know what one scene in it. Mana, aka Kill Heart, gets bitten and her shoulder freaking bleeds. Like they show blood in the movie. Sorry. You don't believe me, look it up. There's movie restriction, and that's why some of the Yu-Gi-Oh movies are being more tamer in their censorship. Like how in the first movie, which was a co-production with 4 kids, Yu-Gi was stabbed by a new monster that Kaiba was using in the duel. Now, in the show, that will not be shown. And this was not made by the Japanese version, so the movie was made for the Westerners first. So, also they don't censor the Dark Magician Girl's chest and stuff, or the pentagram on her. That's not censored for a reason. And some of the stuff that's censored in the anime are not censored in the movie. I think I'll talk more about that when I review the movie at some point. I need to watch all the English dub. I ended up taking the dub out. I can still continue. But yeah, that's it for this epilogue. Slightly long video, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy my content. Please thumbs up button. Want to see more? Subscribe to the channel and like your bell. Discover the channel. I'll see you guys later for the full movie, and some of the One Piece movies. So, they're not going to be pretty short though. The 3 are going to be pretty short since they were more part of the summer festival movies. I type of in Toy House it holds every year. So yeah, thank you. I will see you guys next time later. Go Phoenix out.